Well, good morning. It is Thursday. It is Webinars Day here at Marketing 6. Always very exciting for Bedine and myself to host these webinars on Thursdays. It's part of our campaign that we call Generosity as a Service. This is where we give back to the communities that we have created in the online world, helping them to be successful in LinkedIn. Now, today we are going to discuss a very common problem. What do you do if lead generation does not work? I mean, what do you do if you spend time on LinkedIn and you either don't create leads for your business, or the leads that you created is not qualified leads? It's not quality leads. It's not people interested in your business, your products, your services. So what do you do? Well, there's a very simple answer to this. You need to fix it. And in order to fix it, you need to troubleshoot. But how do you troubleshoot? And this is what we're going to address today, is to see how can we look at LinkedIn and make sure that we do generate the leads that we want for our businesses and that they're qualified, that they will convert. Now, before we jump into the webinar, just a little bit more about ourselves. It looks like we might have lost Bedine. Bedine, are you there? It could be very possible. You know, we do have load shedding here in South Africa, and it happens at the most inconvenient times, and sometimes when we do not expect it. So in Bedine's absence, I'm going to continue and just introduce myself. My name is Tilly Davies. I'm the founder and owner of Marketing 6. We started about 7 years ago. We're a digital marketing agency specializing in LinkedIn only. And that is where our strength lies, and that is how we serve our customers. We've worked with some of the major corporates and larger companies here in South Africa, as well as overseas. We are viewed as an international concern, and currently more than 70% of our customer base is international clients. I myself come from a technical background. I've been in the business world for close on 40 years. I started in the information technology sector and moved into the call center arena. It was during this time that I got to get involved with social media. It was back in 2004 when Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn started making huge noise. And I have been active in LinkedIn since 2004, but really started to get aggressive since 2012 when I was the CEO for Call Center Hub here in South Africa. So many years experience on LinkedIn, and what differentiates us from other agencies is, in the beginning, I couldn't understand how LinkedIn works. I couldn't get the results. I was where some of you are today. And I used my technical knowledge to go and dissect LinkedIn and try and understand how it works. And since then, we've just gone from strength to strength. And one of the things that we pride ourselves in is the fact that when LinkedIn change, we figure out how that works. And this is what these webinars is all about, is to keep you up to date with the skill that we use on our side to make sure that we understand the changes and to give it through to you so that you can adjust and adapt to the new changes in LinkedIn. So it looks to me as if Bedine is going to be with us today. She keeps on vanishing on my screen. Bedine, are you there? Great stuff. I think Berlin is having technical problems today on her side, so I'm just going to continue. Berlin is our operations manager. She is a psychology graduate, majoring in English. She was looking for an opportunity to enter the job market, waitressing at the time when I met her. And I took her under my wing and trained her. And today she is viewed as one of the LinkedIn experts with me in marketing CX. She's learned a lot. She learned fast, and sometimes she even hosts these webinars for us. So very skilled, and I'm very proud to have her by my side, assisting me in delivering a quality service to our clients and our communities. Now back to our topic for today, and the problem that we're addressing is, what do you do when lead generation does not work for you? You get leads on LinkedIn in 3 easy steps. If you speak to the right person with the right message at the right time, you will generate clients, not just leads. That is the simple formula that we have in LinkedIn. So that is what it is all about. It is being laser targeted and focused in your activities on LinkedIn. I'm going to just address some of this, but today is going to be more a Tilly day for me. I love it when I can show you in LinkedIn how all this works. So we're going to do the majority of the presentation today in LinkedIn itself. But I just want to cover a little bit about these 3 areas. The first thing is the right time. And this is where consistency in LinkedIn plays such a huge role. You have to be there every day. You cannot expect to start generating leads and do prospecting if your prospects are there, your leads are there, but you're absent. You've got to be there on a daily basis. Now, people want to look at this and say, okay, so should I post at 10 o'clock or should I post at 12 o'clock? Should I post on a Tuesday or a Thursday? Here's your dilemma. And this is something that we experience. My clients is in Canada, in the UK, in Europe, in Australia. It's all different time zones. So who do I post for? When do I post? Because if I post for South Africa, at 10 o'clock in the morning, some of my clients are sleeping and they don't see it. So the solution and the answer is consistency. Post at a time that is convenient for you and do it consistently. The algorithms has most definitely changed. And guys, I have seen it, I've tested, and I've said it in last week's webinar and the webinar prior to that. The algorithms has changed and we haven't had enough time to really test it and really give you positive feedback and positive input in saying, you need to do this. What I have noticed on my content, for instance, is sometimes I post and get absolutely no engagement. And then suddenly 4 or 5 days later, it is huge engagement on my post. I have seen posts that I've posted 2 weeks before, and suddenly I'm getting huge engagement on it. The power hour that we've been speaking about for years seems to not be the case anymore. So my advice always is be consistent, arrive at the same time every day, and do arrive. And when you are on LinkedIn, make sure that you consistently embark in activities that is going to create engagement and build conversations for you. And this is where the message comes in. Because when we post content and we start messaging others, what we tend to do, and I see it so often in my own messages that I receive from my community, is we want to go out and tell them what we have, because we've got this great telephone product that has got all the bells and whistles that is going to absolutely make your life a dream come true. But that is exactly what we shouldn't do. What we should be doing on LinkedIn is we should focus on learning, listen more, stop trying to be interesting and start being interested in others. Ask questions. Wherever you go and wherever you engage, ask questions. That is how you build a conversation. My dog is barking, so I do apologize for that. Ask questions. You need to learn more about your audience. You need to learn more about your new connection. Will they, in fact, qualify as a lead? Don't waste time trying to send out messages that says, buy my stuff, to someone that's not interested. I received 4 messages in the last week, one every day, from someone that's trying to sell me high-end range laser printers. We work remotely. I cannot use such a printer. I have absolutely no use for that printer. The person has wasted a lot of time trying to get me interested in his printers. What must I do with his printer? I don't need it. It's not even a matter of don't want it. I don't need it. I can't put such a big printer in my work from home office. Where must I put the thing, even if I am interested? And this is the problem that I see over and over. We want to go out and talk about what we have rather than asking questions and what do you need? I might have qualified you as a lead, but I need to qualify you further. I need to understand your unique environment. The data that is available on LinkedIn might be as such that the person moved away and he didn't update his profile. So you might be talking to someone that you think is a lead, but he isn't, because he started his own business. He doesn't work at that large corporate anymore, and he never updated his profile. So you've got to ask the question all the time. But the last thought I want to leave you with asking the right messages is, think about it. If you just go and tell people what you have, you sound desperate. If you are so focused to just get the conversation going on your topic, you sound desperate. Whereas if you focus on building the relationship and asking questions, so how does that work? I see you use this methodology. What is it? I see you selling call center software. Do you only focus on workforce optimization? What else do you do? I see you're a business development executive in your company. What's your goals on LinkedIn? Ask the question. And when you get the answer, guess what you do next? Ask another question. Until you get to the point where you ask the question, why don't we meet? So that we can discuss what we do and see if we've got a match. So you just need to get into that habit of stop trying to go out and add value by informing people what you have. You add more value by giving them the opportunity to talk. This is a Dale Carnegie secret. People love to talk about their stuff. So this is easy. Just go ask questions. And then you need to speak to the right person. The example I've used just now of going in and just start talking about your stuff to a person that you haven't double qualified. In other words, you might have done a search and he fits the criteria perfectly, but he moved from the large corporate to a very small concern, and he isn't an ideal client anymore. He doesn't fit the bill anymore. So you have to absolutely make sure that you speak to the right person as you go along. And these 3 simple steps, by applying them every single day, will generate leads. So it stands to reason that if you don't, then one of these are out of whack. And one of these is just not working for you. But sometimes we just cannot see. And we just cannot understand what is going on. And I'm doing everything right. I'm there on time every day. I don't send messages without asking questions. I've qualified this person. Why am I not getting leads? Well, what I would like to do is I would like to go in and let's jump over to LinkedIn. I'm in my LinkedIn account at the moment. Now, if I go to Sales Navigator, there has been a huge debate always. Should we use Sales Navigator? Shouldn't we use Sales Navigator? Is it worth paying $79 for this? Well, what I want to show you is if I go into a search and I just search for anybody, my ideal client is a receptionist. So I now want to go and find all the receptionists that's in my second connections. This is the only filters you have to work with. You can't really drill in and really go in and be laser targeted. You can sort of get away with it by saying, okay, I want people in South Africa, I want my second connections, and I want people in the human resources area, but that's it. That's it. So you can't see more. The other problem that I have with telling people you don't need Sales Navigator is you're also limited on the amount of searches you've done. So I have seen LinkedIn users that's done 10 searches, and by the 11th one, they can't search anymore. I've seen LinkedIn users that's done 5 searches and they can't do anymore. The criteria is 10, but it's not consistent. But there is a limit. So you can only search so often. And then to save your searches is an absolute nightmare in LinkedIn. Whereas in Sales Navigator, if I want to go and start searching for my ideal client, I have got a field day. I can be laser targeted. Now, we always say there's 4 criteria that you need to focus on. The size of the company, the title of the person, the geography and the industry. However, sometimes you want to drill in deeper. I want to have someone that's been with a current company for X amount of years. I'm looking for more senior people. I want someone that's got X amount of experience. I'm looking for more qualified people. You can't do that in LinkedIn. You can only do that in Sales Navigator. And like I always say, I get no commission on promoting Sales Navigator whatsoever. However, I will not serve you well if I tell you you don't need it. Because if you are not generating leads and you do use the 4 criteria, then drill deeper. Look for people with more experience. Look for people that's more senior in their companies. Look for keywords in specific posts. Drill deeper. And you can do that on Sales Navigator, but you cannot do that on LinkedIn. So to solve the people problem, the solution is very simple. If you are on LinkedIn because you want to generate leads and grow your business, if that is your objective, you cannot do that on LinkedIn without Sales Navigator. I have shown before in Sales Navigator, one of the beautiful things is that you can build a funnel system like a CRM in your Sales Navigator. And in actual fact, in that way, you can ensure that you manage each relationship so that you can map out your prospect journey from second connection invite to the Zoom meeting. You know, even if you've got 30,000 connections, you know where you are with each of your connections in the relationship marketing process. So that is just my little spiel on Sales Navigator and why I believe it is critically important that you use Sales Navigator to find the right people. As for the message and the right time, there's a very easy way that you can go and troubleshoot and see if you are in fact doing the right activities. And what I want to show you today is quite interesting, because in LinkedIn, and I've always said this, LinkedIn is beautiful because it shows you exactly what to do, step by step. The layouts, the profile page, group, funnel, everything is just laid out step by step for you to have a look at. But the troubleshooting that you can do, and this is going to be a surprise to some of you because you're probably thinking about the analytics. I'm going to show you a better way, an easier way to go and see why are you not generating leads? What is it that's wrong? Look at your activity. If you are all over the show, then your results is going to be all over the show. You know, I read a post from Richard Blom, van der Blom, on LinkedIn, and he explained how the algorithm works. It's simple. If I engage with you and I like and comment on your post, I'm going to start seeing more of your posts. If I start sending you messages, I'm going to start seeing more of your activity. If I go and focus on receptionists, I'm going to start seeing more and more of receptionists coming in, because the algorithm is sitting there watching you, learning from you what it is that you want. And it gives you exactly that back. So part of your problem is that your activity is not consistent. You're not going in laser targeted. And therefore, if you are generating leads and they're not qualified, it's because you're all over the show. Because if the algorithm can't understand what you're doing, how would you, the people that you engage with understand what you're doing? Like I always say, if you confuse, you lose. And this is one of the big areas. So what is the trick of understanding if you're in actual fact working in a very systematic, structured, strategic way? The triple S. You go to your network tab and you look at the feedback that LinkedIn is giving you. So what you want to do is you want to see, what does LinkedIn think you want? And it's very simple. So I can go in and say, because you recently followed this person, here are other people similar to that person. If they're not, then by following this person, I just went and confused the algorithm, and whatever I'm going to get back and whatever engagements I'm going to do is going to be with the wrong people. And whatever interests I might get will not be qualified. So look at your activity and what LinkedIn is giving you back and see if that is where you want to focus. People you may know in the area that you stay in. So have a look and see if this works. When I work my account and I want to go and engage only with people in Australia, maybe I'm running a campaign, guess what I do? I just go and find people in Australia, and that's the only engagement I do, so that there's less of these. People in marketing and advertising, that's the industry that I operate in. And this is very useful. Now, this is something that I mentioned to someone in a coaching session yesterday. Don't run away from your competitors. Learn from them. Piggyback on them. Because whoever follows your competitor is a potential client for you. So if you add value to each other, you know, I've always said, I'm interrupting myself here, but you know, I've always said there's no such thing as competition because people buy from people. And someone might find that Richard van der Blom, Andy Footy, whoever else is LinkedIn specialists, they might find more rapport with them. But some people find more rapport with me because people buy from people. And so don't run away from your competitors. Go learn from them. Go learn from their communities. Add value to their communities. You might find someone there that says, I like Tilly's style more than Richard van der Blom's style, as an example. So I always go into these people and have a look at what they do and learn from them as well. I look at their content, I look at their engagements, I look at what they do. Because I've followed this page, here's other similar pages. If this is not what you're looking for, if this is totally out of target, this is not LinkedIn not giving you what you want. This is you telling LinkedIn, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just all over the show all the time. Online events. If you start just accepting someone invites you to the event, you've got no interest in that event whatsoever. You're going to start seeing stuff that you really is totally off radar for you. Trending newsletters in your network. Now, if you I get at least as a minimum 5 invites to different newsletters every single day. And the majority of time I don't accept. Why? Because I've got no interest in the topic and I don't want to confuse the algorithm with my activity and start going all over the show. Groups you might be interested in, it's the same story. If you just go and try and engage in as many groups as you can so that you can go and dump your content that nobody is reading everywhere else, you're not going to find the kind of leads that you're looking for. So this is indicative. Are you engaging in the right groups? If not, realign. Get out of some of the groups and make sure that the groups you are in is where your target audience are, where that's where your focus should be. Any more suggestions over here is always an area that I like to stop at, because it gives me an idea of where my focus is. So financial advisor, IT, marketing, it's spot on. That is where I dabble in LinkedIn. Those are the kind of people that I engage with. So this last one is always very indicative of how spot on you are with your activity on LinkedIn. I'm not going to show you today, but in Sales Navigator, you've got similar leads and so on. So Sales Navigator can really help you and guide you to go in and make sure that you only engage in your target audience. If you go into your home feed and you start looking at what is in your home feed and you see posts and content you're not interested in, it's not LinkedIn that doesn't know what they're doing. LinkedIn is learning from you. So if you go through your home feed and you start seeing stuff that you're not interested in, click on the eclipse and go and say, I don't want to follow this person anymore. They're not my target audience. Or you can remove the connection if it's really not something that you want to see. You can also go in and mute people, certain people in your audience. If I follow Dr. Nick and he is posting or sharing or liking posts that I don't want, I can always go in and I can remove whoever he liked if that is not the kind of posts I want to see. So use this so I can hide or report this post if it's not something of interest to me and so on. So you can realign your focus on LinkedIn as well. So apart from just going into the analytics, look at your activity on the network and on the home feed. Use the filters in Sales Navigator to make sure that you are on target. And that is how you troubleshoot your lead generation activities. Now, while Badine is back, welcome back, Badine. I just want to ask everybody that's on this call with me or that's on any of the social media platforms, do you generate leads, high quality, qualified leads on LinkedIn currently? Just a yes and no. I don't want to know the number, just a yes and no. Just interested to see how big a problem it really is out there. So while you entering into the chat for us, let me jump back into the presentation. But then did you start getting any feedback as yet?
Yes, so on Zoom, majority says no, nope, no, nope. So majority says no. I'm just having a look if I'm getting any feed from LinkedIn currently, but there's nothing there yet.
Okay, great stuff, guys. This is the kind of information, and I always say that this is not these webinars' objective is not to sell you anything, but this is the kind of information that we help our communities with. We do a social selling, a roadmap coaching program focusing on LinkedIn, showing you how to do all of these things. So should this be of interest, you can apply today. If you would like to have assistance through our coaching program, but then we'll put the URL in the chat. It's marketingcx.news/social selling. If you are backing, there's a shortcut, get our coaching program going, and let us help you to grow your business by generating leads that will convert into clients for you. And if you need to get hold of us, we are everywhere. We have our LinkedIn profiles page, group. Our group, Step into Social Selling Domination. Feel free to join the group and ask us any questions. We are 24/7 on LinkedIn. We will help and assist. We've got a YouTube channel, Facebook, Twitter. And if you need to speak to us, you can either send an email to support@marketingcx.co.za or tilly@marketingcx.co.za. Guys, that is all for today. But then, is there any questions?
No, I don't see any questions in the Q&A or in the chat.
Great stuff. Guys, thank you very much for joining us. It was a pleasure to serve you today, and I look forward to seeing you next week when we're back with another webinar. Thank you very much. Bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.